All right, so thank you so much, everybody, for watching another video. I promised you a big treat. I promised you a surprise, and today you're going to love my channel forever. I got you chat from Divvy, and that's one of the promises that I made to you guys. I'm going to bring you all the pertinent and important information in terms of business credit. And without further ado, chat, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Wilber. Happy to be here. Very happy.
Fantastic, man. I'm so excited. You have no idea. I'm a big fan of TV. You know that. I mean, I am so also very thankful because you guys approved me. You know, there was a few things that we worked out there, and you guys were straightforward with the process. You approved me. I have referred a few people too, and they're extremely happy, just as I am with the services.
Good, good. Well, we love to hear that, and you're certainly not alone in that that arena. So we like to think that our customers like us.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you guys are just very popular online. You know, with the YouTube community, you guys are popular. Everybody, there's a reason why everybody is referring actually the credit card for the small businesses. So, Chad, tell us a little bit about you, about your background, how you ended up in DB. Tell us which companies you've worked for in the past. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Chad Waite. I am the Senior Partner Marketing Manager here at Divvy, which is a very fancy title for getting to work with wonderful people like yourself, Wilber. We work with a variety of individuals who either talk or act or consult on behalf of clients. You know, if you're involved in financial management, you generally are a pretty good partner for Divvy, mostly because you're involved in the day-to-day operations, or you're speaking to how to optimize the day-to-day operations with financial things that businesses have to run into and manage and scale up as they grow. My background personally has always been in the business-to-business software space. So for about 12 years now, I've been marketing B2B SaaS. And that's been in the affiliate space, that's been in the events management space, and then ultimately, about a year and a half ago, I came over to Divvy. And I'll tell you right up, like the weird thing about coming to Divvy is, in the past, all my marketing efforts always had to do with establishing value of a product and a brand, right? And what I found with Divvy is that most of the time, all of our marketing is around mitigating skepticism that we are actually a free platform, right? Like it's this weird paradigm shift. Like when a product is truly like genuinely no strings attached free, you're met with like a lot of people that's like, yeah, but what's the catch? And so a lot of our marketing is going there. And honestly, that's why we pair with partners a lot of times, is to like, hey, look, take a look under the hood for yourself, see what's there, and you can advocate on our behalf if you see value in what it is Divvy's doing. So that's a little bit about my background, but like I said, been here about a year and a half, and I've loved it so far. It's been a great ride.
Absolutely, man, and I commend you guys. I mean, you have found a way. I have not sent an email to you and to your team that hasn't been responded in a timely manner. I haven't heard a single complaint from the people that I have referred. I'm telling you, man, I'm a big fan, because when I find a company that is big enough, but actually that they reduce their sizes to small enough to be able to make you feel as a value customers, because you guys are, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you guys have found a way to make that interaction with each one of the applicants and the small business owners. Look, I tell you the truth, you guys are disrupting the traditional banking system, because small business owners like ourselves, we have a lot of difficulties interacting with the traditional banking. So can you tell us a little bit, are you guys thinking anything on the consumer side, or are you for now sticking with small businesses or in big businesses?
Yeah, so we are focused primarily on the business side of it right now. Our core demographic is small to medium businesses, and it's interesting you're talking about like the customer support side and being able to actually talk to people, and how it's kind of flipping the status quo of traditional banking on its head. And I think there's one interesting thing that, as we build out to serve the SMB space and large businesses too. I mean, we really we cater to anybody who's wanting a better paradigm shift in how they manage their business expenses and spending, right? Like if that's you, then you're a good fit for Divvy. Primarily where we really like to help out is in the SMB space though. And when you talk about like the good customer service, one of the interesting things about Divvy is that we do not charge for the product, and we're very transparent about where our revenue comes from. We issue a credit card. Every time you swipe that credit card, we get a little bit of the interchange fee from the merchant, right? And what you have to understand is that that makes us a performance-driven company, meaning that we do not make revenue, we don't get a paycheck unless our customers, our users, love what it is we're doing and they actually find true value in it, right? Like it can't just be something that's like, yeah, this is a good option, but it's something that they have to say like, oh, this really is valuable and we're going to switch over to Divvy. If they don't have that type of attitude around what we're doing, then we don't make money. It is that linear and simple of an equation, right? And part of that is the good customer service. I mean, we can't tell you all the stories. And Wilber, you've probably heard a million of these yourselves. Like people trying to get in touch with traditional banks and, get on, they get on the robocalls with the million options to talk to a live person and stuff. And we're trying to circumvent that basically completely because like this should not be the hang up. A business should be focused on sales and growth and the things that they need to survive to make it another day, month, year, and not just in the trenches on figuring out the robo dialer for their bank.
It's so frustrating for me to try to get in contact and get, not only that, is that when you get in contact with somebody, it's somebody that probably is an employee that doesn't care enough for the company, and that shows. So when you get that, I don't care much about this company, that's exactly how they're going to treat you. So now, in terms of Divvy though, you guys are on a mission and you care so much about the mission and the company that you care so much about the customers as well and the customer satisfaction for you guys. You have never told me that, or we never interacted or talked about this, but that is, it's kind of something that it goes without saying, right? And again, without really blowing this out of proportion, is that it's so rare to find in this kind of industries. And I dealt with other fintech companies, I dealt with a lot of other fintech companies trying to do the same thing, but you don't get the same feeling. You don't get the same feeling. And like you said, one of the best features that I enjoy about Divvy, and I know other companies have something similar, is that you can track every single expenses on the platform. You can assign, cards specifically, virtual cards to services and SaaS services that you're paying to run your small business. And, in my personal experience in the past, I have one card, I charge that card, and I get wrongly charged sometimes. There's nothing I can do. My banks is not going to help me. However, with Divvy, if I can cut that transaction, I can, there's more control that we have on that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I want to tie in something you said a minute ago about kind of the buy-in from the employees at Divvy. And I mean, you even see it like right here, if I can point correctly to the phrase on my virtual background here, spend smarter. So there's this paradigm shift going on right now, right? Yeah. Like if you look at the history of financial operations within companies, right? You used to just have a pile of cash in the 50s or whatever. And that was your way of paying things, and you write off checks and you'd have a handwritten ledger, right? And then credit cards come around and that kind of changes things up a bit. And then, you enter the last 15 years and you have credit cards and then the software to kind of see what you're doing on that, like Expensify or something to that degree. And they're kind of disparate though, and they're not really talking. And what we found is that there is a massive market, there's a massive need for businesses to basically pair the spending mechanism that they have, AKA the credit card, directly with the software to control what happens on that spending mechanism. And when you put it like that, like everybody kind of has this like, well, duh moment. But the reason the employees are so passionate about this is no one is doing that, let alone no one's doing it for free, right? But like no one is doing that. And when it comes to helping out like the small to medium businesses, there are a lot of employees at Divvy who were either, employees of startups, smaller businesses, had their own thing, or they came from the banking sector and they knew the bottlenecks and the friction points that were there. So the idea is that this paradigm shift isn't just something that they're doing as a, career, but it's directly impacted them. They can speak to the friction points that have come from, those disparate worlds of financial management in the past. And so we really like the idea that with that software paired with the spending mechanism, you can now do things like you were just saying. So you can create virtual cards, you can create enforceable budgets, you can do things that basically allow you to take precise, direct control over exactly what happens with your company's spending versus closing the books at the end of the month and being like, oh, did we stay in budget? And you're chasing down a bunch of receipts from employees. And like everybody has their horror stories, right? Like they've been there, they've done that. If we had webcams for all your viewers, I'm sure everybody'd be like, yep, we've got our own stories too. Like it sucks. It takes a lot of time at the end of the month to know if you stayed in budget and to close the books. And that is a very old mindset of managing spend and finances, right? Like it should be better than that. And that's why I think Divvy's kind of blown up with popularity is we really are there to help. Like it's not just some marketing mantra. We really are there.
And it's actually something, like you said, it's something that is intentionally. It's not like, oh, we're trying. No, you're bringing experts in the finance area, people with experience with traditional banking, and you're coping that with a new way to making things, and not only for yourselves but also for the business owners, man. That this is so directly to us. You guys are rewarding us to paying for platforms and things that we pay every month.
Yeah.
So you're allowing us to continue those payments, utilizing Divvy for that, and also getting rewarded for that.
It's funny too, because that's brought to the forefront after a pandemic year, right? Because what happens when you're in a year, that's a pandemic and basically every penny becomes, you scrutinize it. You make sure that, if your revenue's slowing down for a while, every single penny becomes super important.
Yeah.
So what happened in the pandemic year was we had a lot of small businesses who were looking at this, and the approach that they were scrutinizing it was twofold. It was first, we have overspending through our employees who are doing their out of pocket spend on their own personal cards because we don't trust them with a credit card, or we're just spending way too much and maxing out our credit lines. How can we control that? And that was one half of it. But then the other half was exactly what you just said. It was like, we're also paying a lot of money to a lot of different systems right now per user to manage our spend. Like we're spending more to manage our spend. And, if you just kind of think of that, it's like this horrible infinite loop that you get stuck in. And so what we did was we would work with these companies. We'd be like, okay, look, if you can cut out, 3 to 5K a month in overspending that you weren't planning on, and also you've now just taken off $500 a month in your software cost for, Concur and Bill.com and all these other things that you're using as financial operations. Like think of the savings that happens when you compound that over the next, year, and especially even in a non-pandemic year when you're growing. And so what we were doing really seemed to resonate with businesses because it was providing a solution to their problem on two very different fronts that were costing them money on both.
Look, and I think you guys have kind of like a whatchamacallit. You guys have, I envision like you guys with a laboratory of people thinking on stuff like how can we make our service better? How can we make business owners, help them run their businesses efficiently and better. And, that's one of the things that came to mind when you guys are kind of like brainstorming and creating new products. So I am so excited to see what other products you guys are coming up with. I know that these are things that you cannot disclose them until, they're ready to launch. But I'm telling you, I'm like on the lookout. I'm always on the website trying to see what things can I recommend to my audience, because I try to bring quality products. And I'll tell you something, I only recommend in my channel, and my audience are my witnesses, that we only recommend things that we have touched and handled and applied and experienced. Okay. There was a company, there was a FinTech company too. There were a few of them that we interacted, and I've never recommended any of them ever. How I recommend Divvy is because, like I said, my personal experience, how my experience resonates, and also matches other experiences from other people. So, and this is why I'm such an advocate. So much so that I reached out and say, hey, look, I need to be a partner for you guys because you know what I'm saying. Like, I need to get this out. And because I interact with so many people from my audience, I need to get them. I need to get them to experience what I'm experiencing. And sure enough, Chad, that has been their experience.
Yeah. So two things real quick. So first off, I want to speak to what you just said. You know, there is, I mentioned that there was a paradigm shift. We're kind of in this new era of
Mhm.
spend management. I mean, I think it's really important that we do have voices like yours talking about the idea that it's like, hey, look, you can proactively control spend without having to do a retroactive kind of post-mortem on a month or a week or a budget or whatever.
Exactly.
Like you can do this in real time now and have it be far more cost effective on top of the savings that you get when you don't overspend. Going back to your original question with projects, so Divvy has a very robust roadmap, but one thing that I'll go back to the idea that we are a performance-based company when it comes to our revenue. Um, Part of that performance is understanding what it is that our users need, want, and desire out of this. Every company, I mean, you won't find another company out there who says, "Oh, we don't listen to our users," right? Everybody says they
Oh
listen
yeah.
to the, but
Right.
but Divvy really listens to our users, right? Like so much so that basically half of our company is on the software engineering side, and we even have like a VP of technology who gets in every single day, every single week of every single year, and listens and talks to our clients, right? Like one on one, little clients, big clients, everything in between, and we
That's
get that
incredible.
feedback. So when you ask us like what's on deck, a lot of times that's very fluid because it's what the market is actually asking for. And I'll give
Right.
you the previous example. So about a week ago, we just barely launched an integration with NetSuite. So obviously, when you're managing your finances, if you're using QuickBooks Online, wouldn't it be great to have any transactions on Divvy go straight into QuickBooks? Well, okay, we have that integration.
Absolutely.
Well, one thing that we heard from a lot of our clients is, yeah, that's great, but we use NetSuite, right? Like we really want a NetSuite integration. And that was something that we prioritized and got out the door. And that doesn't give you the exact answer of like what's on our product roadmap next, right?
Right.
But what I can say is what's on our product roadmap is immensely sensitive to this type of thing, this feedback that we hear when we get in the trenches with our clients.
That's amazing. Look, I've had people that I referred that, they haven't been approved for $28,000, $10,000. And, just to throw some figures out there, there are a lot of things that go into place here. Every business is different. But what I wanted to say with that is that, you know, you guys are helping, you guys are transforming the lives of a lot of us business owners, okay? And for that, when we find somebody that genuinely wants to help us, this is our dream, we want to build a business, this is our dream, you guys are taking a chance on us on saying, you know what, we're going to give you not only a line of credit, we're going to give you a platform that you can utilize and increase and grow your business. So
Yeah.
for that, we are extremely grateful. We are loyal forever. I'm going to continue to be an advocate for Divvy. Chad, I really appreciate you stopping by today. If you guys have any questions for Chad, Waite, please let us know in the comments down below. I'll make sure that he reads them, he visits the channel
We'll
and
check back
reaches out
regularly.
to
We'll make it a daily stop.
Absolutely. So thank you, Chad. Anything else that you wanted to add to wrap it up?
No, just happy to be here. And again, thank you for the opportunity to jump on this. We're always happy to talk finances and what we can do differently. So appreciate that.
Awesome. And this is, in lieu of Financial Literacy Month, this is very proper. And I thank you for your time. I know that you're a extremely busy gentleman. Thank you for making out some time. Thank you so much, Chad, and you have a wonderful day.
Likewise, thank you.
Me dice que lo quiere tocar, sé que tú te quieres tocar. Me dice que me quiere amar, solamente quiere jugar. Me dice que lo quiere tocar, sé que tú te quieres tocar. Me dice que me quiere amar, solamente quiere jugar.